Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sandra and I'm a watercolor artist and illustrator from the Netherlands, and I love to create watercolor tutorial videos and also other creative videos and tutorials as well. So in this video I'm going to do it a bit different than I used to, though as usually I will be doing some sketching and then I will be painting it in with watercolor. Only the theme of the video is going to be a bit different and something I want to do more often. So the thing is that I really love to think about things that make me happy and use that as a theme for things that I'm creating. So this is the first video probably in a range of videos that I will be creating. And this is actually a good habit, a new habit for me in the new year. So I like to have New Year's resolutions, only I like to have them focused on the positive side of things. So instead of I want to focus on losing weight, I want to focus on eating healthier, and I like to do that in small steps. And this is something that I learned from someone, actually a person whose podcast I'm following, and I'm also following her on Instagram, and she does a lot of things with healthy food. And this is something that she does. What she does and what I'm starting to do, what I've started to do since the beginning of the new year, and which is already feeling so very, very good, is drinking this morning boost tea. And of course you are watching this for the watercolor painting, but I would like to share this with you anyway because this might benefit you as well. This is really a great tip, so write it down if you want to. In the morning you start with drinking green tea. You can just use green tea from a bag, so green tea, and then add a few slices of lemon, a few slices of ginger, and you can add some slices of turmeric, or you can use turmeric powder because I know that not every supermarket has turmeric on stock, so you can use the powder as well. And I must admit that I believe that the person I copied this from, she doesn't use the lemon. That's my personal thing that I like to add because I really love the flavor of all those things combined, and I love the lemon. So it's going to be written down on this illustration later, and it's going to be written down in the description as well, so you can pick it up there. So basically what I've just told you, this is a good habit and this is something that makes me happy. And what I am doing at this moment is drawing those things, drawing the items that make this tea. So I'm just trying to, it's a therapeutic exercise, this. I don't have any example images, I don't have anything in front of me to copy. Well, that's not entirely true because as you see, I have drawn a mug with a robin. It's going to be a robin, and that's just because my favorite mug is a mug with a robin. That's also my own design, and I really love to drink out of it. So it's just that in my head I have some things, some ideas that make this morning tea, and I just want to draw those elements and later on paint it in. And so basically just you can of course follow along with what I'm doing here, but you can also use this as inspiration and think about things that make you happy. And if, like me, you are working on new habits and you want to positively affirm those habits, then you can make an art print out of that by just drawing the elements that combined make that habit. Just add everything that's part of that new habit or new idea of the activity, anything like that, and just start drawing that and start painting that. Now, I of course want to tell you more about the actual drawing and painting. So as I said, I've been just sketching out of my head mostly, and I try not to make it too difficult for myself. I understand that for a lot of people, sketching can be scary and is like a really difficult part of creating art. So of course, for those who want to follow along with me, as usual, I always create an outline of what I'm drawing and painting here, and you can download that and use that to trace or use that as a reference if you want to follow along exactly as what I'm doing. But you can of course always paint what you want yourself and just pick a topic. And the advice that I can give you, if you think sketching is scary, well, of course it sounds really silly, but yeah, you just need to start doing it. No, I really want to give some advice that really can help you. But yeah, really the first thing is to just not be afraid and start doing it. And what can help is get a sketchbook and just start sketching every day, and start sketching those things around you, what you see. So the cup that you're drinking out, the plant that's in your living room, the chair, of course you can start easier, perhaps like an apple, just basic shapes, and start sketching that. This is a process, it's a skill that you just need to learn, like your hand-eye coordination, that when you see something that you can, the connection with your hand, how to draw it. It's a skill that you can learn. It's something that you can build and grow, and the only thing is to do it. So another tip I can give you, and that's also really what this video is all about, draw the things that you like. I know that when I started when I started learning how to draw and sketch, I had these exercise books, I had these courses I was following and in school, and I always needed to sketch things that I really, really didn't like so much, that I thought was very boring. Like I have been drawing like those toilet rolls and toilet paper rolls and the boxes that matches come in, and just like really simple shapes. And of course it has been very valuable, but it was very boring. So for me that was really tough to continue doing that. And I can imagine that if you really feel overwhelmed by starting with sketching, then drawing things that you really don't like or feel like boring, then it's very easy to quit. So always look for things that you like. And I know it can also feel so overwhelming to decide to draw your cat. But even that, if you focus on the general shape of the cat, like how it's laying down somewhere in this cute loaf position or anything, that's still easier than if you, for your first attempt at sketching, you are going to draw a portrait of your cat. But just keep this in mind, and these items that I'm drawing here, like a mug and a tea bag and ginger and the lemon, those aren't so difficult. You just and it's a really great exercise to just draw what you see. And if you pick topics that make you happy, that are enjoyable for you, then it's also very enjoyable to do this. Of course, don't be too perfectionist in your result. Don't, you can make mistakes. And if you're still in the drawing part, make sure that you've got good erasers. I love to use soft erasers, and I always sketch with HB pencils because they're easier to erase. And when I am not sure, when I'm not confident enough with what I'm going to draw, with my composition, if I want to try it out, then I use cheap printer paper or a sketchbook for sketching, and I only start on a watercolor paper when I feel totally confident that I can do what I have in mind. As you notice here, I don't have a composition. This isn't a composition kind of art print. I'm just thinking about things I can add along while I'm going. I don't have any examples. I'm just looking at the space that I've left and think about what else I can fit in there. So I have in my mind for this that I need a mug for the tea, and I need a box of green tea and a tea bag, the bag that it comes in. Of course, I need a lemon. I can paint a whole lemon. I can paint lemon slices, like a half slice or a quarter slice. I can add the ginger. I can add the turmeric. I can add the powder. And of course, even though I'm not using actual tea leaves, green tea leaves, I love to paint them because, well, painting leaves and florals always really make an art print look very good. It's like a really nice finishing touch. And I'm just playing around here, also adding some like mixed spilled tea, like tea spots. I just want to fill up the entire space. So when I have some white space left that's a bit smaller, I just add some smaller things just to fill it up. So I added some turmeric powder as well, and that's also a nice gap filler. So when you want to paint details on your watercolor, then make sure that your first layer has dried. And you can just let time make sure of your paints drying, or you can use something like hair blower to make it go faster. When your paint has dried, you can add some details, you can add extra layers. So I'm using smaller brushes for this, and I'm just going through every image that I've painted, and as I said, I don't have any examples, so basically I'm just doing this out of my head, whatever feels right to do, adding some shading, adding some details. And I guess for me, this is a very therapeutic exercise because it comes natural to me, and I really I wish this for everyone. So just being able to sit down and draw and paint without thinking, because this can be such a really cool mindful exercise, and especially when you pick a topic that really resonates with you, really like that sparks some joy within you, then this is an exercise in grounding yourself with yourself and feeling some self-love and expressing yourself. And you can also think about something that you could do with an illustration like this. So I think that, what I usually do with the watercolor art that I create is scan it into my computer, and then when I digitize it, I create art prints, and I can put that art, those images, on top of all kinds of products. And I want to create an art print out of this, or some kind of card, especially if I'm going to do more illustrations that have to do with food and drinks. And then something that I can either hang in my kitchen, just as a reminder, as like a positive reminder of this healthy habit that I want to incorporate in my daily life. Or I want to use it, like create a card deck or something if it gets too much. I only have a certain amount of wall space. So I really like the thought of like a booklet or a card deck with this kind of things. And yeah, just keep that in mind. Of course, the things that make you happy, or like habits that you want to illustrate, it doesn't need to be all food and drinks related. It can be exercises, or I don't know, something like hobbies, gardening, walking, hiking, or other creative hobbies like knitting. You can do this with everything. It's something, if you do this, it really helps you learn to draw. It helps you improve your skill of drawing and sketching, but it also is something that will be really, really nice if you incorporate this with a journaling practice. So I am all about mental health and healing, and things that are very important to me that I do daily is journaling, because this makes you really reflect on your day, things that went well, things that you think could go better. And I am a visual person. Most creatives are. And then there's the thing that when you visualize something that really is your conscious working on it, you have got your conscious and your subconscious, and subconscious is like thinking in texts. But when you're conscious about something, you also think in visuals. So adding this visual practice to your journaling practice really helps you to let go of things easier, reflect better. Just, it's a really, really good addition to that kind of practice. So at this point, I must admit that I am very curious. If you are following along with me and painting your own morning boost tea illustration, or if you have picked your own topic to draw and to paint, and if you are creating now with me, then I would love to see what you've created or what you're creating right now. So when you're finished, please share it on your socials and tag me at Sandra Art Studio, and use the hashtag #CreateWithSandras. This way I get to see what you're creating, and that's really, really very motivating for me to create more content like this. I really love to see how these videos inspire other people to sketch and paint as well. And I always love it when other people see your content, that they get inspired as well to join us in this creative journey. So please do share. Don't be afraid to show your artwork. I am confident that what you're creating is really, really beautiful. If you'd like to get feedback on your creations, don't hesitate to ask. I'm always very willing to give you feedback. Now, another thing is that, of course, this is like the first video in a things that make me happy collection. And of course, I am going to draw a lot of things and paint a lot of things that make me happy, but I am always open for suggestions. So if you have any topic in mind that you'd like to have worked out in an illustration like this, please let me know. Drop it in the comments below. And if you have any other suggestion or requests for a watercolor tutorial, you can always drop that in the comments as well. Now, as you might notice, that I am finishing off this watercolor painting or illustration with some colored pencils. That is something that I like to do. You don't have to do this yourself. This is a personal thing. I really love the texture of the watercolor paper. When you draw with some colored pencils over it, then you can really see that texture, and I just really love it. So again, this is completely optional, and we are getting to the end of this video. I really hope that you enjoyed watching it and listening to it, and that it has been inspiring for you. So if you have any thoughts or comments, just comment below. And as I said before, please share your results on your socials. I really love to see what you created, and I really can't wait to see you in the next video. So enjoy painting and creating, and see you there.